Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 3rd of December. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Rio, ResMed, Silver Lake, Star Pharma and Volpara Health. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter. If you enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media, even leave us a review on Facebook and Google. Our main business is portfolio management, so if you need extra help beyond the stock tips and the videos, please call me and I can explain how all of that works. And any advice, of course, is general only. So looking at ResMed to start with, so we could see that longer term it's still in an uptrend. I still like it. I'm holding it for clients. I mean, even on our free blog back in September, we spoke about it being a good buying opportunity. So nothing wrong with the way it's trading. If I just zoom in though, we can see that it's easing back off its all-time high. But you know, the consolidation here is quite corrective. So we had a very sort of impulsive move up, and any selling has been fairly corrective. It's not coming back at a great rate of knots. So look, I'd be happy to hold in terms of a buying opportunity. I think as we could see here, you know, number of red candles. So it's sort of, you know, easing off and closing on its lows most of the day, even though it's not making much progress. All I'd be waiting for in terms of buying opportunity is, you know, it might ease back and then you get this sort of big up day, may well gap up, close on its highs. Whenever it does that, I think that would be the next buying opportunity. Okay, looking at Rio. So the pullback, it's done all the right things. I mean, if we have a look at, if we sort of measure this rally here, you know, we could see that, you know, with our Fibonacci tool, we could see it's come back to the 50% retracement. So I did a video on this actually back here at the beginning of November as well. So I pointed out that it's pulled back 50% of the range, gapped up, left what's known as an island reversal. So we've got this this situation here where it's gapped down, bounced off 90, and then gapped back up, and it's left. Well, I suppose it's slightly filtered intraday here, but essentially you've got this clear reversal, and now it's rallying strongly. So I think at this rate it'll head back up towards not only this peak, but I think it looks like now it'll break that. And even if we have a look at it longer term on the weekly, we could see that this has been a strong level for it for about a year and a half now. It's had a few attempts. So clearly, if it can break this long-term resistance level, we might see quite significant upside from there. Okay, Silver Lake. So if we have a look at the daily chart, we may well have a low in place here. So what I've seen is, again, if I sort of measure the retracement, the Fibonacci tool, we could see that it's pretty much done the 61.8% retracement. The daily RSI has given us a little buy signal by heading back above 30. And look, the last few days have been pretty strong. We could see it sort of making some really nice progress. So there's probably a low in place. However, you know, the move back into this was pretty sharp. So I think to then just see a V shape and have it continue to kick on would be unusual. I mean, it's not impossible, but I'd feel safer to see the low sort of round out a bit. So similar to back in June here, where we had a sharp decline. It jumped a bit, but then it sort of eased back. So basically you ended up, the pace of the decline sort of slowed down here, and then it was ready to gap and get going. So I'd like to see that. So in other words, if we could see it just use up a bit more time and just come back and do a higher low, and just sort of round this out a bit more, for me that would be a safer looking entry point. So Star Pharma, I like the way this one has So if we have a look back at the last 6 months, so rallied quite impulsively here at the end of August. So yeah, big move up on volume, and then it's eased back. It's taken a long time to get back to that level, and we could see that the volume's dried up. So all of that's a positive. We can even see daily RSI divergence. So in other words, from the beginning of November, we could see that it's made a couple of lower lows, but the RSI has made some higher lows. So I think it's setting itself up for a rally. It'd be too early to buy. I'd like to see this correction be over, and for me that would be a nice big strong move, probably above say $1.40, that previous peak. I think if we get a big move up here on volume, then that would be your buy signal. So one to keep an eye on for the moment. Okay, and finally Volpara Health. So this one's just basically still stuck in a range really. Yeah, it's just not doing anything. It's in the middle of that range. You know, I couldn't be buying this unless it broke out of resistance here, and then it may well have a rally. And obviously if it broke support, that would be a negative, and that would be the sell signal. So yeah, look, not really much to add. I mean, even now, even though it's not heading backwards, it's pretty much underperformed the market over the last sort of few months or so. So I guess it's a question of do you sell now and do something more efficient with your capital, or wait for the break of support? And either way, you can always come back if it breaks resistance, because it needs to do that until we get a meaningful rally. All right, well, that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through. I'll try to cover it next Thursday for you.